Martin, we're here where Roy Hodgson has just announced his squad for the games against Montenegro and Poland. What do you make of it?
Not really too many surprises, to be honest. The only casualty is Ashley Young, and deservedly so. On form, he doesn't deserve to be in the squad. He came on in Ukraine and he was awful. His performances since United have been worse, to be honest. So that's a deserved omission. Otherwise, a fairly predictable cast list, as you'd expect for a game of this magnitude.
A lot of talk in the press conference about Joe Hart after his performances against Bayern Munich. What do you make of that situation?
Well, I think Roy's nailed his colours to the mast in this regard, and I think he's right. If Ben Foster were fit, it might be different, but he's not. If Jack Batland was playing for Stoke rather than being on loan at Barnsley, it might be different, but he's not. You look at the other two; they've got 45 minutes between them in an England shirt, Ruddy and Forster. Hart is the number one. The question, of course, is can you trust him in these games? Roy says, yes, I can. He hopes that the pressure of the occasion will actually be what Hart needs to get himself right. It's a big call. I think, realistically, it's the only call, but it's still a big one.
Of course, we all remember what happened when Steve McLaren played Scott Carson against Croatia in a make-or-break game.
Well, I think that's part of the mindset as well. Certainly it was the thought that I had straight away. Yeah, the two reasons that Hart would play were Scott and Carson. It's simple as that. It's got to be hard to forget that. The players remember it, the fans will remember it. This isn't quite the same context. You've got two games where they can mess it up. But England need to win as well. They have to win both of these games. It makes sense to stick with your number one. I don't see any problem with that. And as I said, there isn't any alternative.
And in terms of the forward line, obviously Wayne Rooney and Daniel Sturridge bang in form, but Roy Hodgson will have an anxious weekend, won't he, waiting to see if they're going to come through fit.
It will be the worst weekend of his year so far, unquestionably. He'll be desperate to hope they all turn out. I think if everyone's fit, the team pretty much picks itself. I think he'll play Sturridge as his main striker, Welbeck left, Rooney in the middle and behind Sturridge, and either Milner or Townsend on the right. That is quite a decent attacking looking line-up, whichever way he goes with the right side. England do have to win the game. They have to score goals. They have to win back-to-back matches for the first time in the campaign. But if they beat Montenegro on Friday, then they're so much more the masters of their own destiny. That's the basic situation. Rooney, Welbeck, Sturridge, between them should supply goals.
And your gut instinct on where England will be in a week and a half's time?
I'd like to think they're going to win them both easily. I wouldn't be shocked if they were in a playoff. I don't think they'll be out of a playoff. I don't think they'll come third in the group. I think they'll win one of those two games, which guarantees them pretty much, or should guarantee them second place. They can win both games. They should win both games. It's about coping with the pressure. If they just play the game, if they are themselves, if they are natural, they're free of inhibition, they will win both games and they'll be placed in Brazil. And then who knows what will happen? Then the whole game starts again. If fear takes over, if inhibition takes over, if the worries and consequences of failure take hold of their heads, it can be a very, very anxious few days.